All rise. The Court of Paris. France is now in session. The Archdeacon of Notre Dame will now preside as the judge.
Please be seated. Today we have the case of Quasimodo versus his employer, Troy Frollo. Quasimodo is also known as the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was a bell ringer at Notre Dame Cathedral, but he has been fired from his job by court. He is suing to get a job back under the American Disabilities Act. Quasimodo is represented by Victor the Gargoyle. Court is represented by Hugo the Gargoyle. Victor, you may make your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. I represent Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Quasimodo was a bell ringer at Notre Dame Cathedral for many years. He rang the bells every day, every hour. Lately, his hunchback has been hurting. He has been a little slower than he should be. He admits it, so he was fired by his judge, Claude Frollo. We will prove that he can still perform the essential functions of his job. We have two witnesses. First, Quasimodo himself. Second, Esmeralda, Queen of Gypsies. We will show that Quasimodo's firing violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. Thank you.
Hugo, you may make your opening statement.
Thank you. I represent Claude. He's the boss of the bell tower. He's in charge of making bells ring on time. If they ring late, all the children in Paris will be late for school. Parents will be late for work. This cannot happen. Therefore, Claude had to fire Quasimodo. If he tried to accommodate Quasimodo, it would have been too expensive. This would cause an undue hardship on the finances of the Cathedral of Notre Dame. We have two witnesses. Claude will tell you that the cathedral has no money. Captain Phoebus of the Royal Army will tell you that changes to the tower to accommodate Quasimodo's disability would cost a lot of money. Thank you.
Plaintiff may call his first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The plaintiff calls Quasimodo to the stand.
Quasimodo, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Quasimodo.
Where do you live?
I live in Notre Dame Cathedral.
How long have you lived there?
All of my life, as far back as I can remember.
What do you do for a living?
Well, right now I'm unemployed, but I used to be a bell ringer.
Where do you ring a bell? Where were you a bell ringer?
In Notre Dame Cathedral.
How long did you ring the bells there?
All my life, ever since I was a little boy.
Why aren't you ringing the bells at the cathedral anymore?
Because he fired me.
Did he tell you why he did it?
He said because I couldn't do the job. I think he just doesn't like being around with people with a disability like me.
Well, what are the essential functions of a bell ringer's job?
You have to be able to tell time, and you have to be able to pull all the rows of the bells at the beginning of each hour.
Are you still able to do that?
Sure, okay, so I may not get around like I used to, but I never miss it out. I do it right on the dot.
Thank you, Quasimodo. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Does the defense have any questions?
Yes, I do. Quasimodo, you were never told by Claude Frollo that he did not like people with disabilities, were you?
No, he always call me names like Hunchback. He'll say, come here, Hunchback, do this, Hunchback, do that, Hunchback. It's really not very nice to call people names.
Well, lately your hunchback has been interfering with your job as bell ringer, hasn't it?
Although, if I could do the job better than anyone.
You were never promised that you would have this job the rest of your life, were you?
No, I deserve it. I do a good job.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Quasimodo. Plaintiff may call his next witness.
Thank you. The plaintiff calls Esmeralda to the stand. Esmeralda, will you please come out?
Esmeralda.
Have you ever been to Notre Dame Cathedral?
Yes, I have. I took sanctuary there when Claude Frollo tried to arrest me.
While you were at the cathedral, did you see Quasimodo ring the bells at the cathedral's bell tower?
Yes, I did.
How did he do?
He did a great job. He had trouble swinging from rope to rope, but he got the job done.
Do you see any way to make it easier for Quasimodo to do his job?
I think that if Claude Frollo would just lengthen some of the ropes on the bells, and the ropes would be long enough to touch the floor, and Quasimodo would be able to ring the bells without having to jump all around.
Thank you, Esmeralda. No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the fence have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Esmeralda, you mentioned that my client, Claude Frollo, once tried to have you arrested, correct?
That's right. All I was doing was dancing in the street, and he tried to throw me in jail.
That must have made you pretty mad. Did it make you mad enough to try to get back at Claude Frollo by not telling the truth today?
I am telling the truth. The only person who's mad around here is Claude Frollo, because he wanted me to be his girlfriend. I must say I can't blame him.
Isn't Quasimodo the person who saved you from Claude Frollo?
Yes, Quasimodo tied me in the cathedral.
You must feel pretty grateful. Are you grateful enough to try to return the favor by helping him out with his testimony today?
Well, I am grateful, but I wouldn't lie for anyone. I know it's wrong to lie.
Aren't you a gypsy?
Yes?
Didn't gypsy's job lie?
Objection! I request that the jury disregard that last statement, Your Honor.
Sustain. The jury will disregard that last statement.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Esmeralda. Please have any more witnesses.
No, Your Honor, the plaintiff rests.
The defense will say any call any more witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor. Defense calls Claude Frollo as its first witness.
Claude Frollo, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Of course I do. I would never tell a lie.
Yeah, right. Please be seated.
My name is Claude Frollo.
Where do you live?
I live in the Palace of Justice.
What do you do for a living?
I am the Minister of Justice. I am also the manager of Notre Dame Cathedral.
What are your responsibilities as manager of the cathedral?
It is my responsibility to make sure that the bells in the cathedral's bell tower ring every hour on the hour so that everyone in Paris will know what time it is.
What would happen if the bells didn't ring on time?
It would be madness. Kids wouldn't know when they would go to school. They would just run around the house and wouldn't know and wouldn't learn anything. All they would just do was play.
Did you used to have one of your employees ring the bells for you?
I had Quasimodo do it for years, but I finally had to let him go. He was so sick.
Why couldn't you help out Quasimodo by making the ropes on the bells longer?
Because the cathedral doesn't have that much money to spend.
Thank you, Mr. Frollo. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Did you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Claude Frollo, you never wanted to take care of Quasimodo in the first place, did you?
Not really. The archdeacon made me take him in made me take Quasimodo in when he was a little boy. Since then, I've taken care of him well.
You say you have taken care of him well, but isn't it true that you never let Quasimodo leave the cathedral to go out, have fun, maybe make some friends?
Yes, but That's because I believe you should work. There's no time to play.
Isn't it really true that you're just embarrassed by Quasimodo's disability?
Okay, so I'm not the nicest guy in the world, but I still need that job, those bells running on time.
Well, isn't it true that Quasimodo has never missed an hour on the hour?
That is true, but I think it's only a matter of time, and the cost for me to accommodate him by making the ropes longer would be too high.
You say you haven't even tried to accommodate Quasimodo yet, have you?
No, it would be a waste of my time.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Corporal. Please call your next witness.
The defense calls Phoebus to the stand.
Phoebus, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Phoebus.
Where do you live?
I live in a fort outside of Paris.
What do you do for a living?
I am the captain of the Royal Army.
What are your duties of the Royal Army?
We protect the city from intruders. We're also responsible for maintaining some of the buildings in town.
Have you ever been asked to make an estimate on making the ropes longer at the Notre Dame Cathedral?
Yes, Quasimodo and Esmeralda did.
What did you tell them?
I told them it could just be done for a few bucks. All I need to do is go out to buy some longer ropes and then tie them onto the bows.
Your Honor, this testimony is becoming a complete surprise to me. May I treat Phoebus as a possible witness? You said it was Esmeralda who spoke to you about the ropes. But since that time, has Esmeralda become your girlfriend?
You bet. I think she's the prettiest girl around.
Yeah, so aren't you just saying the ropes were cheap to install just to impress her?
No, that's the truth. Claude Frollo's just upset because I beat him out with Esmeralda.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Phoebus. Do you have any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor. Defense rests.
We will now hear closing arguments. Victor, as the plaintiff's attorney, you go first.
Thank you, Archdeacon. The Archdeacon will instruct you about the Americans with Disabilities Act. You will see that it is illegal to fire someone with a disability who is with reasonable accommodations can still perform the essential functions of their job. Quasimodo can still perform the essential functions of his job. He just needs longer ropes. The only reason Claude Frollo fired Quasimodo is because Claude does not want to be around someone with a disability. That is wrong. People with disabilities are like anyone else. They can be nice people and should be given a chance to prove themselves. Therefore, we ask you find that Claude Frollo violated the Americans with Disabilities Act and Quasimodo should get his job back. Thank you.
Hugo, you may make a closing statement for the defense.
The Americans with Disability Act states that the employer does not have to make an accommodation for a disabled employee if that imposes an undue hardship on the operation of the business. The cathedral does not have money. It would cost too much to add longer ropes. Besides, Quasimodo can't perform the essentials of the job anymore. It's just a matter of time before he starts ringing the bells late. We all know it. Claude fired Quasimodo for the greater good of the cathedral and for the greater good of the people of Paris. Thank you.
Members of the jury, Quasimodo has sued Claude for violating the Americans with Disabilities Act. Your decision is complicated, so please pay attention. There are two parts which you must consider. First, Quasimodo has to prove that he can still do his job. Only if you believe he did, you can go on to part 2. For the second part, court has to prove that any necessary accommodations will impose an undue hardship on the cathedral. If court did prove it, then he is innocent. If court did not prove any undue hardship, he did not win this case, then court is guilty and may be financially liable for his actions. Once again, part 1, do you believe Quasimodo can still do his job? If you did, go on to part 2. Part 2, if this produces a hardship for the cathedral, court is innocent. If this produces no hardship, court is guilty. Furthermore, you may decide that he even has to pay Quasimodo to damages. Above all, you must state your decision on the evidence and not because you feel sorry for anyone. So could you retrace on that ballot and hand it down to freshman 10. We will now hear a short recess.
All right, you can line up. Please line up by the ballot box on the far end.
Michael, come here. We're gonna go by as a class. This is too confusing. Wait.
Bailiff, the jury reached a decision.
Yes, Your Honor.
Read the verdict. Court, you're found innocent. Quasimodo does not get his job back. Court, you're found guilty. And hereby ordered to give Quasimodo his job back. The court is adjourned.
One me up there, too.